friends, it's Vickywright, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator, Australia. So today is our last day of sharing this card layout with you. Just bear with me. I just want to make sure that I actually got everything on screen, so to speak. So this is the last day that Robbie from Creations in Paper and myself will be sharing this layout with you, and it is a stepped up version. Okay, I should have changed my paper, but it'll do for one more. So as usual, I have pre-done some stuff, but whether or not we use it all remains to be seen. So we'll leave our layout there. I'll just grab all our bits and pieces so that I'll just put them somewhere so I don't lose them. So our base card is Crumb Cake. So I've basically kept to the same colours as our card on Tuesday. I am changing the DSP colour, which is Berry Burst, and it's from the Brights 6x6 DSP. So again, I'm going to be adding a little bit of a border around our DSP. So we'll do that first, eh? And I've used the polka dots design all the way through, only because no specific reason, only because I love polka dots. So we want an even border all the way around, mostly the bottom and along the right side. So once that's done, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just here. It's just not sticking. So once that's done, we'll bring in a piece of basic white, and we're going to put our card down like this. The most important thing is that you cover the top parts of your basic white layer, or whatever layer colour you're going to use. Okie dokie, so we'll stick that down. I might bring it up a little bit, I think. So we'll just stick that down like that. So I'm just going to eyeball this. Yep. So I'm basically eyeballing it where we're going to put our glue. Did want to use the liquid, by all means go for your tear and tape or your Stampin' Snail. So we're not gonna muck it up like we did the other day either. So I'm just gonna stick that down like that. And this is where I should have my silicone mat underneath. What we'll do instead, get that piece off, and bang, we have a new piece of grid paper. So then what we're going to do, grab our scissors and we're going to trim, but in this case I think we'll grab our paper trimmer. I'm going to trim this way. So I'm just lining it up at how wide my basic white is, which is 4 3 7/8, and our bottom is 5 5/8, okay, or the narrow side. That is in letter size. Sorry, A4 size, I should say. So we'll just do this one again. I just want to make sure we don't cut off, or cut off with our scissors. Yeah. So that didn't cut exactly where I wanted it, so we're just going to trim the excess. With our scissors. Okay, might look like I didn't cut that straight, but it did. Okay, so that's done. Then what we're going to do is stick this piece to our base card. Okay, just like that. And once again, as I said, my base card is Crumb Cake. I'm not sure whether I said it or not, but the DSP is Berry Burst from the 6x6 DSP pack. I'm not usually a brights person, but I'm loving this DSP. So that's done. Then what we'll do now, we'll bring in all our flowers and our bits and pieces, and I have done some of it. So I've actually die cut extras just in case I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do, but I think we'll go this way. So I've actually done a couple, and I've left a couple that I could show you what I did. So we've used our dies. Okay, so my leaves, these leaves come from this great big die here, and I've just chopped them off, and I've coloured them with our sponge daubers and olive ink. Okay, so that's the big die there. When I did these leaves, I've only die cut just that area there. I didn't want all this, so I've just cut that, and I did it twice. Then I cut a couple of this shape leaf, and I sponged, here you go, I've sponged these leaves with the sponge dauber and olive ink, and then I cut them into two pieces and adhered them to the die cut leaves. Okay, our centres I've die cut again with Crumb Cake, and I've embossed it once again with the exposed brick embossing folder. So I've done 3 of those So 2 are the same size and 1 is the bigger size. Okie dokie. So that's our centres. Then these flowers, oh, sorry, I've cut all my nails right back and I can't pick anything up. So these ones, I've actually cut that shape, the outline, and then I've cut the embossed. These shapes here actually emboss and die cut at the same time. So I've sponged Daffodil Delight over them and I've just stuck them to the basic white shape. So we'll put that aside, we don't need that. And then what we're going to do is actually do one shape. So I need some scrap paper. Put that aside. I've actually die cut a couple of these leaves or branches using this one from Old Olive. You could also use this shape as seaweed too if you wanted to. And then I've left one to do, so it's this shape here. And what we're going to do is bring in our Daffodil Delight ink pad and our Daffodil Delight sponge dauber, and we're just going to dab ink over the top. Okay. Now I always dab a little bit darker around the middle and then I just take it out. Doesn't have to go all the way out to the outer petals if you don't want to. If you leave them a little bit lighter or white, it just adds a little bit more dimension. Then what we're going to do is grab our glue. You could use fine tip glue. You could use the adhesive sheets if you wanted to, or mini glue dots, but I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to leave our petals hang loose, and I'm just going to stick this in the middle like that. Okay, so that's done. Then we're going to finish these flowers off. Oh, one more thing I did too is I grabbed a clear wink of Stella, and I've actually, this is running out, I've actually just gone over the coloured areas where we daubed the Daffodil Delight, and I'm just applying a small amount of wink, and it just adds a little bit of more interest, I suppose you'd say. And it gives a nice shimmer, and it will also highlight your colours as well. Okay, so that's done. Then what we're going to do is pop up, no we won't pop these up, we're going to stick these down. Okay, so we're just going to stick our centres down. So that's going to go there like that. Now you don't have to have crumb cake if you don't want to, you could have any colour, but I just chose the crumb cake. You could probably even die cut the centres in basic white and then daub Daffodil Delight and pumpkin pie, or just pumpkin pie over the top, and that'll give a nice variation as well. I think I'll put the glue on the wrong side for this one, but that's okay. And that's it. Okay, then we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of our flowers. We'll put a couple on this one because it's just that little bit bigger, just like that. We'll bring in our card. Them aside. And we might do this one first, eh? Now I'm not going to stick anything down for the moment. I'm just going to let it sit there until I'm happy with the placement. Oh, I can see the shimmer shine there. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not. So we're going to bring this down a little bit. Still not pressing. And once I'm happy, I will then press down on the dimensionals. There you go. Then we'll bring in these little branches and we'll stick these down. Again, you could have used your adhesive sheets, mini glue dots, fine tip glue if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do that. We'll put one under here, I think, just to break up that white there and to carry something over to the white. So that's done. And I think we'll put this one up there, I think. Yeah. It's a nice set, this Cheerful Daisies. Well, it's a bundle actually. So we're just going to put that just there like that. If you wanted to, you could have chopped some of the branches off from the bottom, but I don't mind that going up there like that. And as I said, I always leave the tops of my leaves and flowers, petals, whatever, hang loose. Then what we're going to do is arrange these leaves. So I'm thinking we'll put one here. I might actually cut that off. We don't really need that. So I'll put a little bit of glue on the bottom here. Put that there. Over there like that, and we might put one there, and we might do one here, eh? Sometimes you just got to play around. I'll chop that leaf off again too. We don't need that. Sometimes you just got to play around, oops, with how you want them. So we'll put this one here. Just there like that. Hold that down for a couple of seconds so it sticks. And we'll put one up the top here, Just like that. Just hold that down again. Oops, just like that. I'm liking those colours together. Sometimes you never sort of know how they're going to come out. You have an idea in your head, and then sometimes when you put it on paper, it's different. So we'll bring in our foam mat, and this time we're going to stamp hit this one. No, this one. Whoops, a daisy. Okay. And we're going to do that in, I'm thinking, I did bring blueberry bushel. I thought we might bring that in. But what I'm thinking now is old olive. And I've got another idea for me in my head too. So let's do this first. Let's bring in the old olive. I mean the blueberry bushel. And I've got this flower image, cluster of flowers, this one here. And I'm actually thinking, stamp this off a couple of times, out 3 times, over that. We might do that twice, just in case. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I like that colour stamped off. That's stamped off about 3 times before it was stamped. And I'll bring it around this way. And I like it the way it's running that way. Then we'll bring in our old olive and our sentiment. That's the branches, that's the flowers. What do we say? Oops, the daisy, so sorry. Tap, tap, tap. Looks pretty straight, yeah. Okay. So just bear with me. It may go out of eyesight for a little bit. I don't mind that. It could have been maybe just a fraction. Let's try it again. Maybe a fraction lighter even. So let's try that again. We'll stamp all 4 times, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then see what happens now. First one was okay. It's always good to experiment, have a play. So, as I said, this may go out of I think it's pretty much the same. Oh no, this is a little bit lighter, so we'll just cut this off. I won't cut it off too much, just in case. She's a tiny bit lighter, so we might use this one. We'll bring our card in, and we're going to put it this side, I think. Now, I know the sentiment says here, but I think it'll look better this side. Might be a little bit too, yeah, a little bit too squashy that side. And what I'm also thinking is, I might actually chop this back a bit too. I don't like my shapes too wide. That's a little bit better. I know it's only a fraction. You could also, if you wanted to, you could have also used the double oval punch and punched it out as well. So we're going to put that there, and we're going to pop this up. But I'm also thinking, if we bring in some linen thread, we might tie now. I was going to put it under the centre of it, but I'm thinking we might do it just here. Let's do it there, eh? So we'll put this on the back with a mini glue dot. No, I'm going to, I've changed my mind again. I think we might still use our mini glue dots, and I'm thinking we might keep it up here. And we'll keep down here nice and clean, but we'll still pop it up with a couple of dimensionals. I'm going to grab some more scrap Whisper White, basic white. I'm just not happy with that blue, with the blueberry bushel. So I think we might just leave it as is. It just looks a little bit too much, I suppose, or out of place. Does that make sense? So let's start again. I've still got it anyhow. Probably Daffodil Delight may have been better, but we're just going to try it. With the, yeah. Now I'm going to chop a little bit of this. Too much. I can't do a thing with my nails. seem to be all thumbs. And we'll do a bit from the top as well. Now we'll chop just that way and that way. That's better. Now we'll put a couple more dimensions on the back. Making sure our card's nice and straight. You could put it that way if you wanted to, but we're going to do it this way. And then press down once you're happy. And then to finish it off, we're going to bring in our brushed brass butterflies again. So I've used these, once again I've used these all the way through. They pop out everywhere. Put one about here, eh? Oops. And that is our card for today. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you've enjoyed us creating from the sketch, and it's given you lots of ideas. Okay, so that's our card for today. Now I'm just going to see if I can find our cards that I can show you all together. I'll just have the things. Here they go. So that's card 3. Oh, so I told you these butterflies go everywhere. Card 3, using the sketch layout. That's card 2. And that is card 1. So that's our basic. Then we stepped it up, and then we've given a wow. All right. So, and they are the base cards are all neutral. Both of these are crumb cake. This is pecan pie, and I've basically used the same colours all the way through as well. So it just goes to show that you don't have to have a lot to create your cards or your projects. Okay, so don't forget to click on the link below where you'll find a PDF tutorial on my blog, which has the list of supplies and measurements, and there's also a link to Robbie's blog as well. So don't forget to check out to see what she's done, because we don't know what either of us are doing, so it's a surprise to me as it is to you. Okay, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you Sunday for a new sketch layout. Okay, thanks a lot. Enjoy your day. See ya. Hooray.